Welcome back to Scovid Rewind. In this video, we'll be exploring one of the horror movie from 2007 titled The Mist. Before we begin, I hope you're having an amazing day. Grab your favorite snack, sit back, and enjoy the recap. Let's dive straight into the story. David Drayton watches the world the way a quiet, practical man watches a weather report. Alert, a little annoyed, and convinced he can handle whatever comes. He's an artist, a dad, and someone who knows how to put a roof on a house and a smile on his kid's face, even when things get weird. That's where the movie starts. Small, human details that make what follows actually hurt. It opens with David and his young son Billy in the kind of small-town New England life you can almost smell. Lakes, hardware stores, and a little domestic tension about money and responsibility. We learn about their relationship right away. David loves Billy fiercely but imperfectly. There are arguments about courage and the kind of father who pushes his kid to be brave without shoving him into danger. It's an important thing to hold on to because when the mist rolls in, that father-son bond becomes the emotional backbone of the whole story. A violent storm hits, knocks out power, and leaves the town reeling. David heads to the local supermarket to stock up, the kind of mundane errand that feels safe and sensible. Predictably, the universe decides to punish sensible errands. After a military convoy is spotted and a curt radio broadcast tells everyone to stay inside, a dense, white fog descends over the town, so thick you can barely see your own hand. People are trapped inside the grocery store because stepping outside means stepping into something that does not care about whether you're human or not. Inside the store is where the movie really starts to be about people, not creatures. The supermarket becomes a pressure cooker of personalities. Calm, cynical, frightened, angry, hopeful. There's Amanda, a woman separated from her husband and trying to make sense of what to do for her baby. There's Brent, the well-meaning neighbor who wants order and logic. There's a stubborn old man who refuses to be bullied. And then there's Mrs. Carmody, a religious fanatic who smells fear like a bloodhound smells steak, and uses it like gasoline on a fire. David becomes, reluctantly, one of the central voices trying to keep people focused on the practical. Get food, stay locked down, don't do anything stupid. But as the hours pass, the real danger inside becomes the human heart under pressure. Outside the mist, glimpses of things are terrifying. The film takes its time with the reveals. Close, claustrophobic scares at first, then otherworldly predators. There are spider-like creatures that appear from the fog, giant flying things with beaks and claws, and impossibly alien tentacles that spray corrosive mist and snatch people like toys. The effects are mean and creative. You get the sense the world has turned into some Lovecraftian roadside attraction, and the rules of normal life no longer apply. The supermarket windows become theater screens, showing nightmarish scenes over and over. Neighbors being snatched, cars overturned, odd, insistent sounds from the fog. What Darabont does, and does well, is let the monsters be external mirrors of the internal monsters that show up when people are afraid. At first, the shoppers try to be rational. A local delivery man and the owner of the store handle logistics. They keep shelves organized. People pass blankets and share cigarettes. Small acts of decency matter. But fear is contagious, and Mrs. Carmody's brand of certainty, the kind that says God is punishing everyone and any dissent is heresy, grows like mold in the damp, windowless store. She's not subtle. She knows how to read a crowd, and when a crowd wants rescue from indeterminacy, she hands them absolutes. It's manipulative, and it works. People who felt safe in their routines suddenly find it easier to believe in punishment and salvation than in the messy, uncertain work of cooperation. Tensions build into absolute divisions. Some people, like Brent, want to organize and get anyone who can to try to reach the military or at least scout the area. Others are paralyzed by the unknown. A band of them leaves the store to search the area and rescue a trapped survivor. And that, heartbreakingly, is where the movie's moral calculus gets tested. They drive into the fog, full of courage and optimism, and the mist eats them alive in scenes that are shockingly, horribly final. The film doesn't whisper its cruelty, it shows it, quick and clinical, because that's what panic does. Cuts through hope with the sharpest blade. Back in the store, the social structure unravels faster when food starts to run low and religious fervor grows. Mrs. Carmody's followers grow bolder, demanding sacrifices and scapegoats. She preaches that the only way to stop the monsters is to repent, to give something up in the name of God. People are scared, but also human. Some go along out of terror, some out of genuine belief, and some out of a desperate need for someone to tell them what to do. There's a particularly awful scene where a mother and her kids are taken because the mob believes offering them will save everyone else. It's ugly and it's deliberate. Fear twists moral codes until people make monstrous choices that, under different circumstances, they would never have considered. David keeps trying to be the pragmatic core. He argues, he pleads, he tries to use logic, call the military, check radios, ration supplies. But logic is less compelling than spectacle and the drama of a preacher waving a Bible. Amanda and David become allies and, in a soft, believable way, potential comfort for each other. The movie never plays that for cheap romance. Instead, it gives the two adults a quietly mutual care that underscores the stakes when things go wrong. Meanwhile, the military presence is teased but distant. Soldiers drive by, tanks roll, and you feel a false hope. Help is near, but it's always just out of range. That distance is crucial to the film's cruel rhythm because it makes the final choice unbearable. The survivors are convinced there's no way out, no cavalry, nothing but slow suffering at the hands of things in the fog, and that conviction is what leads David to make the movie's most controversial decision. There's a scene where David, Amanda, Billy, and a small cluster of other survivors, exhausted, out of fuel, out of options, decide to leave the grocery store and try their luck in the fog. They drive in a truck, too tired to keep the world as a storefront stage for human drama any longer, hoping to find a safer place or at least put some miles between them and a dying building. One by one, the bleakness of the fog and the weight of what they've seen crushes them. They watch friends and people they like get eaten, thrown into an impossible calculus of who will live, who will die, and who will be spared the worst of it. The final act is the part that sticks in the throat like something you wish you hadn't swallowed. David, convinced they will be captured by unspeakable things and suffer a fate worse than death, takes a very grim decision. He uses his last bullets to put down the people he loves, Amanda and Billy among them, believing he's sparing them unimaginable torment. He then calls out into the mist, ready to accept his own death as the price of his mercy. It's a gut-wrenching scene because the audience knows what many of the characters don't, that the military is arriving. Tanks roll into the mist, soldiers call out, and the fog parts to reveal armored vehicles mowing down the creatures in a huge, sudden rescue. The timing is excruciating. The soldiers arrive seconds after David's choice. The moment of realization is the movie's surgical incision. No music swells to soothe you, no tidy moral tie-off. It's raw, unadorned grief. David screams, and that scream is the last sound we hear as the screen cuts to black. It's an ending that split viewers when the movie came out. Either you think it's a bravely bleak, honest consequence of the story's logic, or you think it's a manipulative gut punch for the sake of shock. Personally, it lands as one of those endings that feels true to the film's rules. The Mist is interested in pressure testing human morals under fingertip-tight fear, and that means occasionally there are no good choices left. Darabont gives us a protagonist who chooses an agonizing mercy because he believes that's the only humane option, and then forces him to live with the terrible cost when the choice's premises are overturned.